We're talking with Peter Buffett, and you've invested a lot of money in the past and as well as this coming year into Ulster County. What is your mission for doing that?
So NoVo's kind of came into being at the scale that it is in 2006, and Jennifer and I had a lot to learn, went all over the world, all over the country, and as things seem to get more complicated here and around the world, we also were learning that to start where you are and focus closer in on the issues that are facing literally everyone from around the block to around the world, that kind of starting where you are and investing more intently in place and being able to be in relationship to the place, being able to listen and learn and respond, that ended up being really important to us, and I feel like it's really important to the community to have someone here that's actually listening and investing, because the world we're all finding ourselves in has sort of been built for the last 100 or 200 years on corporations and governments being in a certain kind of relationship that will frankly take a lot of money to get out of. We're trying to resource things that historically have been sort of underwritten by government and corporations, whether it's agriculture, healthcare, education, all these different things. So we're feeling like it's going to take a lot of money to get us to kind of jump the tracks and get into a different kind of system of being in relation to each other.
Right, so it's kind of like more like in the past, it can be more like of a top-down approach, and your approach is really more grassroots, right?
100%.
And you've established a relationship in this community, you know people, and so you're communicating and getting feedback. How do you think that approach is different?
Well, I've been told it's a lot different. It's the way we think, that we're going to listen to people that are actually doing the work, being affected by the work, as opposed to thinking we have some answer to a problem. So that's always the way we've worked, but specifically I want to call out these Thursday calls that I've been having with my NoVo colleagues since September as a way to just create a mechanism where we can really listen and learn and respond. And that has been, like I said, a pretty different approach, which is disappointing in some ways, because the whole idea of philanthropy is to be in connection with the people you're in service to, and so we're taking that as far as we can take it and being super connected to Kingston and the community around it.
And so actually we're standing in what used to be the big bubble, is now the Broadway bubble.
Yep.
And it's kind of like a microcosm of what you're talking about, isn't it?
100%. This is ground zero in the best sense of the word, to where people come because there's a service here that is provided, laundry, and then with that they can connect to each other, connect to issues they may not have known they shared, learn about things. It's really, for us, creating a container so that it can allow things to happen in the community, but that might not otherwise be possible or people would be paying attention to in some way.
Right, and so give an example of some of the elements that will be here in addition to just doing your laundry.
Well, that's the question, because we don't want to, if I give you an example, that means I'm telling you what I think will happen.
But you've done
but
some
at the same
already.
time, yes, we
right?
have created an opening for aspects of childcare, aspects of learning, both the parents and the kids learning things and connecting in ways that they may not otherwise do so, but also something like what is now being called a resource navigator. So in other words, somebody comes here and there's a person here that can say, if you go here, you can get this service, you may not have known about this happening over here, you connect these things, you help them, you make a copy of something, they couldn't get a copy made, whatever it could be to just help make more fluid the process of getting support other places that's out there, but people don't necessarily know it's. I mean, one of the great things with, again, a number of projects that we're helping support is the interface between them. So the YMCA Farm Project was over here talking about landscape design and what's possible with the trail behind and the parking lot and the surrounding areas. So to be able to bring those kids in and get their brains working and imaginations working on how this could look for them and for their neighbors is an easy way to say, hey, here's a connection with two organizations that already are doing great work, and we can do it together.